Rewind 1057. I'm Steve Richards. Chicago and the Doobie Brothers in town tonight at SPAC. The legendary rock and roll band with horns, Chicago, came in at number 9, the highest charting American band in Billboard magazine's recent Hot 200 all-time top artists. And Chicago is the first American rock band to chart top 40 albums in 6 consecutive decades. Chicago was inducted into the 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and this year marks the band's 50th consecutive year of touring without missing a single concert date. One of the founding members is Lee Loughnane, the trumpet player in Chicago, joins me now. Lee, welcome.
How you doing, Steve? Thanks for having me on the show.
Sure, we're looking forward to your show tonight here at SPAC. Can you believe it's been 50 years?
No, I can't. But Robert had said in our documentary that it felt like it feels like it's been one long, continuous tour. So it's pretty accurate, actually.
How have you now? It's you, Robert, and James and Walt, right? The original 4, the core 4, right, from the band. How have you guys lasted together for so long? How do you do it?
Well, we still like the same thing we did the first day we met. We love playing music, and we especially love playing music for people. So live performance is where we make our bread and butter.
You were 11 years old, right, when your father asked you if you wanted to play an instrument?
Exactly. Yeah, sure, why not? And I've been playing trumpet ever since. It's amazing to me. I have to pinch myself. But I keep practicing, and I realize even now that without the practice, you don't keep getting better. So I practice every day, and I'm actually improving my playing rather than going the opposite way.
You went to DePaul University, started out in bands there. The Shannon Show Band, one of your first bands?
Yes, there was an Irish show band, and they were pretty plentiful in Ireland. And then when they started coming over to America, they proliferated in the various Irish clubs in America. So I happened to get into one of those, and it was the same instrumentation as Chicago, as it turns out.
When did you meet Walt?
I met Walt at DePaul University when I a freshman, so I was about 17.
And then
2 years later, we formed this band, and then came out to California, and now I'm talking to you. Boom! Just like that.
Just like that. What was it like early on when you first went on the road?
We had a great time. I mean, we didn't have buses or very rarely even flew in an airplane. We would fly to get to the initial place and then rent cars everywhere we went. We'd have 2, sometimes 3 cars, and we'd drive everywhere through towns. I remember because there was collision damage on rental cars.
Yeah,
and we have all of that stuff covered. We would come up to a red light in any town, anywhere, USA, and the first car would stop at the light. The second car would run into the back of him, and the third car would run into the back of him, and we would just crazy kids, thinking that was fun. And the people around us were going, "Who are these guys? Let's give them a wide berth."
Your roommate a lot was Terry Kath, the late Terry Kath. What was his influence like on you?
Terry was always playing the guitar. He never stopped. I mean, we would come into a hotel room anywhere USA, and we were all over the place all the time. In fact, around the world. And Terry would pull out his guitar and start practicing. So I learned how to play guitar by watching him, and then when I picked up a guitar, I just started, working on the positions. And once you get one position down on the guitar, it works all the way up the fretboard. So, one at a time, like anything else.
Yeah, and you got signed to that first record deal. It was Columbia Records. What was it like going to the big city in New York and recording the first album, the Chicago Transit Authority?
We did it very late at night. The studios were booked up solid. In fact, I think Simon and Garfunkel had the day shift. We would come in at around 6 at night and work till 6 in the morning. and it took, I think, 2 to 3 weeks to record the first album, night after night after night.
We're chatting with founding member of Chicago, Lee Loughnane, here on Rewind 105.7. And all these years later, you have a new record out. What's this traveling studio you have now?
That's right. It's taken on the title of being called The Rig. But basically, it's I spoke with Phil Ramone, a longtime friend, and we sorely miss him. He just passed away last year. And I asked him if we wanted to record on the road, what could we do? Where do I start? And he said, you get a great microphone and a great preamp.
Yeah.
And you start from there, because if you don't get the sound right, first off, the first file you put on the computer or on the tape, if it isn't great the first time, you can't make it better. So you can't make the proverbial silk purse out of the sow's ear. So it's got to be great right off the bat. So I started with that, got as good a mic as I could get for the money, because you can spend upwards of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. So I got a nice sounding mic for as little as we could get, and I bought like 3 of them. So we could do vocals, we could do brass, we could do whatever, and then I got a nice preamp and a few nice preamps, and we started from there, and then we've built it up to where it's a running studio. It's as good a studio as you could find in anywhere in the world, and we can make some great records. So that's what we plan on doing.
Yeah, and this new record again, new studio tracks now, released on Frontiers Records, 11 brand new songs. So these were all recorded on the road.
They were. We never went into the studio. The only time I saw the studio was to do some mixing and mastering.
What was the reaction from the band with the new rig?
Initially negative. They didn't think that it was possible to get great sounds, and we've even improved on the sounds that we can get since we recorded 36. So we have made it even better. The hardest part of it is, we travel on the road a lot, so getting everyone to want to come in and record anything on a day off is sometimes difficult. But you don't have to work all day. You don't have to leave the entire rest period for work, and we don't really consider recording work anyway. So come in and do one song, just do your part on one song, and you're done for the day. Not so bad. Yeah,
we're chatting with one of the founding members of Chicago, Lee Loughnane. Of course, tonight they're with the Doobie Brothers at SPAC. I want to talk about your charity organizations, and you've raised the band has raised over $250,000 to fight breast cancer for the American Cancer Society by having a winning bidder come on stage and sing "If You Leave Me Now" in concert.
Right. That has always been fun, because you never know, the quality of the voice of the person, but they tell you before the show that they've been practicing for a week on the song. And you can imagine them practicing in the shower, in the bathroom, where it sounds as good as it's going to sound for anybody. And then they come on the stage, and sometimes they don't really know exactly what they're doing. But it doesn't matter, because the reason that they're up there is to help other people and help help themselves many times too, because they are many times survivors of cancer. So to get that across to people that you can survive and come up and have fun and live a normal life after cancer is also a possibility. So it's really cool. And everyone has always gotten a standing ovation every time they did it.
Yeah, also a bunch of other charities, too. A lot of tie-ins with Notre Dame, too. Kelly Cares, Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly, and manager Peter Chivarelli, who played football for Coach Ara Parsegian and the Ara Parsegian Medical Research Foundation.
Exactly. And Coach Parsegian has run on some tough times lately. He's, I believe, 91.
Yeah.
And he's had some medical problems again. He said, I think he has something going on with his hip, and they can't really operate anymore because of his age. So they're trying to clean out the tissue, and hopefully he will recover fully and be back and come and see us again.
Yeah.
Will we be able to see him?
Lee Loughnane from Chicago. Any favorite songs you like to play? I know it's a tough one always to pick out a couple in concert still today.
You know, it is a tough one. It's always been a tough one because I love playing the music that we have recorded. And there isn't one song that we call up that I go, oh, my God, we got to do that again?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is fun, and the arrangements don't get any easier. But I usually say beginnings just to get a song out there.
Yeah. I had a feeling you were going to say that one.
Why? Because I got a solo?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
No, I love the ensemble of it. It's always been a great tune to play. And Robert actually wrote the brass arrangement on that. He wrote a few. I know, it's normally understood that Jimmy Pankow wrote almost all of the brass arrangements early on, especially. But Robert wrote 25 or 64, Free, I Just Want to Be Free, and Beginnings.
He is
I think he decided that it was a little too hard for him.
Yeah.
He didn't like all of that, trying to figure out which horn should play which note,
Well, we are looking forward to seeing Chicago tonight at SPAC with the Doobie Brothers. Lee Loughnane, one of the founding members, trumpet player. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great day. Come out and see us. You'll have some fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you. It's Rewind 1057.